Hey there, I'm Bill, one of the co-founders of AircraftIQ, and today is day job day. Brad is in there getting set up to do a nav database update on this Citation Sovereign. It's a beautiful plane. But we wanted to show you what that process entails. It's not as straightforward as you would think. And what about private jet management went into the creation of AircraftIQ, making general aviation owners' lives easier. It's not just reserved for private jet management and ownership. So we put a lot of work and thought into this process into AircraftIQ, which, remember, aircraft-iq.com. Your free trial is waiting. Let's go check it out. All right, so we've got the avionics turned on. Plane is on ground power. We've got the GPU out there, which was making all that racket. And there's this little cubby, little door down here with the data link ports. And then we've got this cable running back to this jumbled mess of dongles. And Brad, who is here snacking and waiting for things to happen. So Brad, this isn't your typical plug in a USB card and wait for it to update situation. What on earth do we have here?
So we have to go from 2026 data out of a 2022 computer to a 2015 medium with DVDs, maybe like 2010 instead, to a 2004 avionics system, even though this is a 2009 airplane. So we have to go from modern digital to slightly less modern digital to analog to sort of digital, kinda, into the system. So this is hands down the biggest pain to update the databases on an airplane that I have ever dealt with. I wish I had a floppy disk. I so do. Originally, these airplanes came with laptops that were serialized to the airplane. Like, it came with it from the factory. After those laptops started breaking and going defunct in like 2012, Cessna came up with a way to relink the laptop to the airplane with a newer one. So this is not the original laptop that came with this airplane, but it's set up for it, thankfully. So every other airplane that I've done nav data on has been a USB or a DVD data loader or SD card or something like that. This airplane, the Sovereign, not the Sovereign Plus, the Latitude, because those are SD cards, but the Sovereign Classic just happens to be the perfect confluence of horrible technology combination to make this whole monstrosity happen. If it were a little bit newer or a little bit older, it could be done with a USB stick. But unfortunately this one can't. So
sweet.
Here I am spending anywhere from 90 minutes to 9 hours to update the database, depending upon how many tries it takes.
Awesome. Plenty of time to handle AircraftIQ customer service emails in between. So
Exactly.
we can't show what's on the proprietary-ish software, and there's some data particular to this plane that we can't show. But in talking about in generalities, this nest of dongles and convoluted update system aside, how often is this plane needing a nav database update? How is it usually tracked in the jet world, and how did that dovetail into providing something like AircraftIQ for private individual GA owners?
So the data for this airplane is the exact same data as any other GA airplane. It's from the same providers, it's from the same system. So like, I'm using Jeppesen Distribution Manager to download the data onto the CD drive. When I do the Bonanzas database either tomorrow or Thursday, I will use JDM to put it on my USB stick to update my IFD 440. Data's the same. It's just in a different packaged format. The database validity period is the same for all of the airplanes. In our case, this is a 28-day cycle. So every 28 days, I have nav data that has to get updated. And that makes 13 cycles a year that it does. The charts, which I'll also do today, are a 14-day cycle. So normally I don't update the charts on this airplane. It's just not worth my time to do that. So I use the onboard charts in combination with my iPhone charts through ForeFlight or Garmin Pilot or whatever system I'm using at the time, and combine those. So like if it's a chart that's still in the validity period in that first 14-day window, then I'll use the airplane's charts. If it's not, then I'll use my phone charts. But that's all the same. The entire process is the same regardless of what airplane you're doing it on. That's all standardized intervals and things like that. In the jet world, normally either the airplane manager, in my case, or I'm basically the responsible party for the airplane for day-to-day things like this. I have help for some of the higher level stuff, but for day-to-day stuff, whoever the responsible party is, whether it's the pilot, the director of maintenance, the airplane manager, what have you, will do the database update every 28 days or so. Usually you get an email when the database becomes available, at least through Honeywell, which this is a Honeywell system. You get an email when the database becomes available. So I get an email 7 days before the data goes live, and that tells me, hey, the database is ready to download, and then I can just go through and do what I'm doing now, anytime in that 7-day window. So it's a narrow window to do that. So you better hope, like in this case, that I had a day off to be able to do it before the next flight and before it was due. So,
and I bet that gets complicated when the plane flies a lot, or if it's a chartered plane,
or in my case where I fly other airplanes, and I do other things. So, I've been out here at midnight before doing databases on this airplane before a trip the next day, because I had just gotten back from a 6-day trip and there was no other time to do it. So I've been out here doing it.
So this is something that would be on like a private jet management software, like a CAMP, which is a very complex, very outdated from at least from a UI perspective kind of software. But that's kind of the standard in the private jet world.
Gulfstream CMP or
does a lot of additional things that a GA owner won't need, but that process of it's still the same database that's being updated.
Yeah, literally same data.
It's still the same problem. Yep. Maybe if you're a VFR guy, you can get away with it if you're not flying IFR or something.
I don't keep the databases up to date in the YAC. I don't care.
You don't really care.
VFR only airplane.
But it's a thing that contributed to us saying, hey, if we build an AircraftIQ to be useful across all these different types of intervals and things that have recurring dates and reminders needed, whether it's a calendar date like this thing, or whether it's
on a fixed cycle.
A fixed cycle, or on an accumulated hour perspective, at a price that's not like, how much is camp if you're a jet owner?
10 grand a year.
10 grand a year. So for $25 a month, a couple $100 a year, to provide a private jet management style service for what's needed in the general aviation world. This is one of the things that...
for the things where it makes sense.
Right? Where it makes sense. So you can add, the reminder to
automatically configured. All you have to do is hit select database update tracking, and ding, done. It's just there.
Because it's all on a unified cycle.
Yep.
So if you have a database, if you have a GPS in your plane, make that selection in your AircraftIQ's profile.
It's under recurring reminders.
Under recurring reminders, and it's all set up and ready to go. And you can create like a warning duration on that.
Yeah, you get a warning threshold on it. So I get the email. I have mine set to 3 days, right? So I get 3 days beforehand. The Jet, I have to have more time for it because I need to find time to carve out and do it. And this one I can preload databases. So the Bonanza, I can't preload anything. The database is live as soon as I upload it. So I don't want to upload it until after it's already